Welcome to All the Gear But No Idea, the South Australian fishing podcast hosted by Rhodey and Diz. The boys will share their tall tales of the one that got away, as well as some regular segments they know all you fishing tragics will enjoy.
G'day guys and welcome to episode 46 of All the Gear But No Idea. Rhodey, great to be here with you, mate.
Diz, always a pleasure.
Thank you, mate. We are very lucky to be joined by two guests today, Rhodey. Our double guests are always our favourite.
We absolutely love nothing more than a double guest special, and these two are different but great.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we've got Matt Vlachoulis, second in the Adelaide game fishing comp, Kingy comp.
Yes.
Big fish. We're going to hear more about that later. And new media superstar. We had to go through his his agent, that's right, to not our usual channels to get in touch with friend of the show, Dan Waye. He's going to tell us all about the Happy Valley Reservoir and what's been going on down there. But Rhodey, first we should get into our oranges and lemons, as we usually do before we get stuck in the meaty bit of the news.
Yes, Diz, I will get you started. I had a nice little weekend away at Point Turton.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, it was good. Great spot on the waterfront.
Lovely.
Good weather.
Yes.
Didn't take the boat, but did do a little bit of fishing.
Okay, yeah.
Stuffed up and dropped a flathead at my feet.
Oh.
That was flattening.
Rookie move. Would have been nice on the barbie.
Yeah, probably mid-30s, 30 centimetre, 35.
Yeah, right.
Dolphin Bay.
Nice.
Pulled him up through the rocks, and last rock I had to get over, flipped off.
What'd you get it on?
Soft plastic.
Oh, jeez. Would have been nice.
Would have. I was flat. But anyway, did get a squid off the jetty, so that made up for it somewhat.
Good.
But yes, good weekend nonetheless, Diz.
Brilliant, mate. Well, my orange is going to be an upcoming test that's happening here. I absolutely love nothing more than watching the Aussies touch up the Poms in the first Ashes in Brizzy, and I'm hoping they'll do the same in Adelaide.
Yes, we love beating the Poms.
Yes, we do, and it's going to be great. We're obviously hoping that we don't have any drastic outbreaks of the dreaded COVID.
Yes, I can't wait to get there and have a few beers. We'll keep the COVID at bay.
Yes, absolutely.
Might get down the reservoir for a fish just before we head in, Diz.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Why not? We're going to get all the tips later on from Dan, and that probably rolls me into my lemon, Rhodey, because it's no doubt that Omicron has thrown a spanner in the works for a number of different people, and it's just close contacts and all this. It's a shambles.
It's a bit of a mess, really, isn't it?
It is. It's a mess. And it's just causing uncertainty. People might be quarantining through Christmas, which seems absolutely ludicrous. But we aren't. This is not an SA Health podcast. This is a fishing podcast. So we'll move on from that onto your lemon. Big guy, what is it?
I am going to say, look, we had a few plans to get out on the boat over sort of Christmas, New Year's and target some southern bluefin tuna.
We did. But we do.
Well, unfortunately, there's none to be seen at this point.
Yes, that's right. Might be the late season tuna.
So that's going to throw a bit of a spanner in the works if they don't rock up pretty soon.
Yes.
So that's my lemon. Just the lack of tuna, Diz. Yeah. I know they still could come before Christmas, but I'm sure lots of people have got time off around Christmas, New Year's, and they'll be flat if they can't queue up at the Victor Harbour boat ramp for 4 hours and get their feed of southern bluefin tuna.
I am going to say the weather over the last week or so has started to show signs of turning into the hotter side.
Picking up the temperature of the water, you reckon?
So we might, I'm not saying a 36 degree day all of a sudden raises the ocean temperature by a degree or two, but a string of hot weather might help.
Yes, Diz, so hopefully they roll in soon.
Yes. All right, ready? Good oranges and lemons, mate. Give the listeners a bit of an update of the merch, and we'll roll that into the comp too, because boy, oh boy, do we have a comp going.
Diz, we do. We'll start with that. We have got some excellent prizes. So we shared a photo on our Instagram and Facebook last weekend.
Yes.
I think it was last Sunday. And all you have to do is like our page on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
And give it a share either on your Facebook page or your Instagram story.
Yep.
And then you'll go into the draw to win an unbelievable prize pack, Diz.
Oh, a serious prize back by some very, very generous friends of the podcast, I think it's fair to say.
Yes, certainly Diz. So we've got Savage Tackle, we got Lazy Fisho, we got Let's Go Fishing down at Christie's Beach.
We've got Flacky.
And we got Troll So Hard Lures. And we've got a bit of our own gear.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. We've got to pitch in, and it's a great pack, especially leading up to Christmas. And Rhodey, when can the listeners expect to hear that announcement?
So that closes on Sunday.
Yes.
So Sunday, what date would that be, Diz? Let me just check the calendar.
Sunday 19th. Yes.
It's closing day. So make sure you've shared the picture and liked the page by then.
Yes.
And we're going to do a little Christmas special after that, Diz.
Yes, we are. We're going to do a year in review.
I'm calling it the Christmas party.
The Christmas party.
So we're going to do a quick little episode before Christmas and we will announce the winner on that one, Diz.
Yes, we look forward to that, Rhodey.
And if you're not lucky enough to win that, or if you need some Christmas presents, the grey caps are great.
Oh, they look spectacular.
So they've been a popular little addition to the merchandise. So hit us up if you would like one.
Yes, absolutely. Get in touch with us, guys, and if you haven't already, get onto that competition because they're definitely more than your regulation sort of stocking fillers, aren't they, Rhodey?
Oh, they're much better than that. One Rundle Trading Co. Ripping quality. It is just unbelievable.
That amount of gear from Savage Tackle is going to break your stocking if you try and stuff it in there. It's too heavy. It's just too heavy. Don't even bother. You're going to need a reinforced stocking if you're doing that. Rhodey, let's move on to the news.
Yes, Diz. Where are we going to start?
Well, look, I think we should start at the MSF MAC, the Marine Scalefish Fishery Management Advisory Committee. Yes, that is absolutely a mouthful.
Did you practice that before you came on?
No, well, I needed to. It's like a tongue twister.
Yes, very impressive.
But there's been a bit going on there, Rhodey, isn't there?
There has, Diz. So that has been announced. Some of the members. It was only about half the members have been announced.
Yeah.
And that has replaced the Snapper Management Advisory Committee.
Yeah.
And will help with the management of the marine scalefish, charter and recreational fisheries, Diz.
Yes.
So they've said Basham said a key item on the first agenda will be the state's current snapper closure and what science and research will be required to see if the snapper population will have recovered enough to reopen in February 2023.
Yes.
I'm going to say there's enough snapper out there to open.
Yeah.
Just from what we've seen on the socials and with our own fishing. But we will see what these guys on the committee come to the conclusion of.
Well, we certainly hope so, Rhodey. We'd like to see that fast-tracked, wouldn't we?
Yes, we would.
And I think this is a good step in the way of getting that committee announced so that they can get to work on working out exactly what they're going to do there so that we have some understanding of where things are at.
And
the rec angler, I mean, of course.
So there were supposed to be 2 representatives from the recreational fishing sector.
Yes.
Only one of them has been announced. There's a few other members that haven't been appointed. So it's Dr. Paul Rogers. He's from Sardi.
Yes. Yeah.
So I don't know anything about Paul Rogers.
I don't know anything about Paul either. We might try and get him on the show one day.
I'm interested to see how a Sardi representative really represents the recos, but
yes,
I'll let you be the judge of that.
Yes, well, controversial. You heard it here first, folks.
And unsure why we haven't appointed the other representative. We also haven't got an Aboriginal traditional fishing member.
Yeah, there's a few to be appointed.
Or the independent conservation member.
Yes, a bit more to come. So watch this space. I'm sure we'll cover it as it comes through the channels.
And they've been put on for 3 years, Diz.
Yeah. No, that's good, Rhodey.
All right, we'll watch that one with interest.
We will, and one thing we're also definitely going to keep an eye on over the summer is we're going to keep our eyes peeled for the Asian paddle crab because there has been one sighted.
There's been another one sighted, Diz. Yep.
It's the
4th detection since 2019.
Yes.
And it was caught on the North Arm jetty at Port Adelaide. And you see a lot of signs up about these Asian paddle crabs. So they're certainly doing a good job at publicising the impact they could have and identifying them to people.
Yeah, no, I think you make a good point there, mate.
So 6 spines down each side of the shell. They have paddles on the rear legs.
Yes.
Grows to about 12 centimetres wide, so it's a bit smaller than the blue swimmer crab. And interestingly, it does say they can be found in a number of colours: pale, olive green, brown and purple. So I think that might contribute to the
confusion,
the difficulty people have identifying them.
Yes.
But if you're in any doubt, if they catch something that doesn't look like a blue swimmer crab,
yes,
I'd be getting a couple of photos of it.
Well, obviously a sand crab.
Well, yeah, but look, your average fisher can identify a sand crab.
Well, you'd certainly hope so.
Anyway, Diz, keep your eye out for them.
And you'll probably see photos of those at your more popular jetties and these sorts of boat ramps and these sorts of things, just to alert the fisher people to the kind of thing that PERS will want to know about.
Yeah, there was certainly sign up at Point Turton, I'll tell you that right now.
Yes, excellent. All right, Rody, we have seen some proposed amendments to marine parks recently in the news, haven't we?
We have, Diz. So this is a proposal that people can have an opinion on through the yoursay.sa.gov website.
Yes.
And it involves 4 different marine parks that they want to change.
Yep.
And so that includes, I'm going to say this wrong, the Nuits
Archipelago.
Do you know where that is, Diz?
Yes, it is off Ceduna Road.
Yes, it is. 15 k's off Ceduna.
Some extremely special locations there.
And they want to reinstate the original boundaries with a special purpose area overlaid in the northeast region to allow for commercial abalone fishing only.
Yes.
They also are proposing to revise the Neptune Islands group.
Yeah. Wouldn't be doing any commercial abalone fishing out of North Neptune.
No.
Would you?
No, not after we jumped in there the other day.
No, and the Upper Gulf St Vincent, Rody, they were talking about reinstating the original boundaries of the Clinton Wetlands Sanctuary Zone.
Yeah, and also Diz down at Destrees. This one's had a bit of media attention.
It has had some media
so they want
attention.
They create a new sanctuary zone there that allows for shore-based recreational line fishing.
Yes.
So no boat fishing by the sounds.
That's what
and I think,
like.
Did I read that contained the launching area? I think that's what I saw.
Well, I think there's a few different launching areas
at
Destrees.
Right.
I don't know that it included the more popular one, which we've launched at a couple of times, but there was another one further down towards the edge of Destrees. But I could be wrong there. Jump on and have your say.
Yes, Diz. What else have we got?
Well, Rody, I just want to touch on a few brief things that have definitely popped up in the news. And most recently, there was quite a large shark sighting.
Yeah, where was it?
Very close to the shore at West Beach.
Ooh,
there's
been a lot of sharks around.
Some people got on footage. It was interesting. The shark was definitely interested in something, doing some quite sharp turns and circling the area. Maybe just chasing some fish that are sort of in the shallows there. But no doubt a frightening sight for those who like to get down to the beach on a hot summer's afternoon.
Here's a question for you, Diz. Are we seeing more sharks because there are more sharks, or is there more people on social media?
Look, I would definitely say there's more people with a camera handy in their pocket.
Could be a bit of column A, bit of column B.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, mate. Absolutely.
All right, Diz, we also want to congratulate Lee Van Soest, friend of the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another great Reeling In Junior Anglers event. This one was a kayak event at the Warren on the weekend.
Yes, it was, Rody. Great work by Lee and the team. Tireless work, I'd say, by Lee, I'm sure. An excellent event. She's covered a lot of different types of fishing, but this was very good to see that those who might be on a bit more of a budget or working their way up to affording a boat or something, but do want to get out a bit further, whether that be in the reservoirs or, of course, some people like taking their kayaks out of sea when the weather permits, but getting the kids used to the kayaking in the Warren Roadie with a number of volunteers who would have had great setups on their kayaks were down there, and it looks like a great day.
Yes, Diz, and we've got the date for the next one. So the next kids clinic is on January 29th.
Yes.
At Lake Bonnie in conjunction with the Carp Frenzy.
Yes.
So that's a good thing to kill two birds with one stone, isn't
That's right. It's good timing, and Lake Bonnie's a great spot to wet a line.
And yeah, so they're also looking for the next round of ambassadors in the new year. So that starts January 1.
Excellent. Well, a lot to look forward to in that space then, Rhodey.
It certainly does. That's some great work by Lee and the team.
Fantastic. Rhodey, well, we should cover... We've talked a number of times about the Vibrio outbreak in Coffin Bay, and extremely disappointing to hear that it is still closed.
That's my understanding, Diz.
My understanding as well. And yeah, very, very disappointing for the oyster farmers down there. No doubt a massive, massive disruption, both financially and just for their business in general. At this time of year.
You'd certainly think traditionally the Christmas period is when oysters get eaten.
Yes, and you know, we have said before, but we'll say it again, they've just been hammered. It was Poms a couple of years ago. Now they've been closed down by Vibrio. Just not great news, and we really hope that they get to the bottom of that. And more importantly, on the other side of this, we're going to be doing our best to catch gout like Bill, and we're going to eat a dozen oysters a week, every week.
So we haven't heard any date on when that might be, but Diz, the question on everyone's mind is, are you going to get back into oysters or have they scarred you?
No, I will definitely be back into oysters. I'll be back into them in a big way because, yeah, it's not going to stop me. They're too good.
All right, Diz, a bit of a sour one to finish with. 2 drownings at Gore recently.
Yes, Rhodey. Well, a notorious spot for when the weather and the tides play the game. It's a very dangerous location, and Sugars Beach proved to be another fatal sort of ending, unfortunately, to 2 people going down there just trying to enjoy some time on the water. Very saddened news.
And I think it was 2 in 2 days or 3 days. One went in after his son and never came up.
Was very close together.
And the other one was, I think, had a kayak was involved. I think maybe he'd kayaked across the river and then maybe gone under while they were fishing off the beach.
Yeah, and we know that the father did go in and save the son's life, I believe.
He did, I think, yes.
And so, yeah, condolences to those families, but a timely reminder, particularly as we lead into summer, to be as safe as possible on the water.
Yeah.
And always know the conditions and take every precaution where necessary, Rhodey.
Yes, no doubt about that, Diz.
Okay, Rhodey, well, that does round out our news for this week before we get stuck into having a chat with our guests. And I say that quite pronounced because we do have 2 this episode.
We do, Diz. It's great to have a double guest special. And who are we going to get on the phone first, Diz?
Well, we'll get Matt on the line, Rhodey.
Yeah, all right, Diz. Let's get him on the phone.
All right, Rhodey. Very lucky to be joined now by Matt Vlachoulis, who was second in the most recent Adelaide game fishing comp for the Kingies, Rhodey. But we'll get stuck into that a little bit later on. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, great to have you on board, Matt. And we'll hear about the Kingfish in a minute, but let's get started. This might be a Kingfish, actually. What is your best fish?
My best fish was actually Kingfish. It was the second Kingfish I got land-based.
Ooh.
So I was pretty lucky. I've got a few off the rocks in my time. But the second one I got was, I don't know, it's pretty special to me, more because I was just lucky to land it, I think. So me and a couple of mates we picked a spot, I'll call it the Upper Spencer Gulf area, off the rocks. And we rocked up about first light, we were there.
Okay.
And we're trying to get some bait. So it took us ages to get bait, probably 3 hours to get a squid.
Yeah.
That's what we were using. So, after the 3 hours, we got a couple of squid, floated them out on balloons, and I was lucky enough to only have it in the water 5 minutes. And got smashed pretty violently by a big kingfish. The tail out the water, it was jumping out the water and everything, so I knew I was on. As soon as I picked up the rod, it started peeling line, probably got about 70 metres off of me. And then the line went slack, so I thought I'd lost him. I started reeling in, I still felt a bit of weight, so reeling a little bit faster, reeled all the way right up to the rocks. The fish came right to my feet.
Oh, wow.
And then, it was pretty amazing. And then it proceeded for the next 5 minutes to try and rub me off on the rocks. It was my heart was in my mouth the whole time, and there was a little point where we were fishing it almost got around the point. I had to try and stop him.
Yeah.
Before he got around the point, after about 5 minutes, he sort of died. Well, not died, but run out of puff. And yeah, I got him. Ended up landing him. He was about 138 centimetres to the fork. I didn't have scales to weigh or anything. But yeah.
That's a bloody good land-based fish, Matt.
Oh, I was pretty happy with that. It was hard work.
I was going to say, it'd be quite unusual that you're usually chasing the bait for longer than you are the actual fish. That would have been a real shock to get the first bite 5 minutes after toiling away for a squid for 3 hours.
Yeah, it was pretty hard. There's been times off the rocks, especially where, I don't know, you go hours, more than 3 hours looking for a squid or looking for a salmon.
Yeah.
If you're lucky enough to get them early, usually you don't get a kingfish if it takes 5 hours. The other days, it usually happens.
Oh, good. All right. Well, excellent. I don't think we've had too many that have topped that story, Matt. That's pretty impressive.
I've been lucky.
Yeah. Mate, tell us your favourite thing about fishing.
A favourite thing about fishing, well, I've got a couple favourite things. So, being alone.
Yep.
Like, sometimes getting away from the rush. Rustle and bustle is a good thing for me. Like, I'll do a few solo missions every now and then.
Yeah.
But on top of that, like, a lot of the people that you meet when you're fishing, a lot of the people that you talk to, they make some good friendships out of some good fishing stories. Hear a couple of good stories as well, some that are a bit far-fetched. But
Bit of mayo. All right, Matt.
That's pretty much it.
What was your first fishing memory, or what got you into it?
My first fishing memory, so my grandfather used to take me out fishing a fair bit from about 5 years old. More targeting bread and butter species like whiting and that sort of stuff around Waye.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my first memory. And then I was sort of, towards my teenage years, sort of stopped going fishing.
Okay.
So, I don't know, from about the age of 12 to probably 21, I didn't go fishing at all. I sort of gave it up, didn't have any interest in it. And then one of my cousins started fishing and invited me on the boat, and it got me hooked again.
Yeah, sometimes...
It was just every weekend we could, he'd take me out.
Yeah, that's it. Sometimes it takes one of those amazing trips to just spark your energy back up again about things, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And the main thing that sort of got me back on the kingfish thing was, it would have been about 2014. He went out off the rocks. All he had was a popper. Took a snapper rod with him. Had no idea what he was doing. And on his third cast, he got a kingfish on that popper. I couldn't believe it when I seen a photo of it.
Wow, that would have been unreal.
Oh, yeah, so that sort of sparked my interest back in kingfish.
Excellent. Matt, this might be an obvious question, but your favourite sort of fishing and why?
Obviously, fishing for kingfish, it's more the challenge and the time that it takes, like the dedication you've got to put into it. And on top of that, the methods as well. Like, there's a lot of different ways that you can catch them, and it's more dependent on the weather and what's sort of happening around the place, the tides, the wind, that sort of stuff. That's my favourite type. I do like all sorts of fishing, like obviously snapper. When you're allowed to catch them, I like catching them on whiting gear, like lighter sort of gear.
Yeah.
And right down to salmon. Like, salmon are the most underrated fish in the water, I reckon. Just they'll pull string. Even a small one will pull string off you. So yeah, I love catching salmon as well, or off the shore.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, mate. It's always good fun catching some of those good fighting fish. Now tell us, surely over the years you've picked up a funny fishing story?
Yeah, I sort of went with the one that got away.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of a funny story. So on Saturday, only 2 days ago, I went out chasing kings. And we got one real early in the morning, probably about 8:30.
Yeah.
And it went dead from there. And then in the afternoon, we hooked up 3 and lost all 3.
Oh, no.
Flat.
Yeah, it was horrible, but that's part of the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
We had one on, I don't know, would have been 1 o'clock it sort of started.
Yeah.
And it just snapped the braid. It must have been something, didn't check the line properly before we went out. So one snapped the braid. The next one spat the hooks, and the one after that was too big to stop. We just couldn't get any line back on him, and he rubbed us off on the reef.
Oh, jeez. Must have been good fish.
It was horrible.
Yeah, you have those days, don't you? Howlers where you just can't seem to get any in the boat.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we were lucky. It was bittersweet. We did get the one early, but 3 lost is that's probably my worst day.
Yeah. Now tell us about a good day, Matt, when you caught a fish that got second in the Adelaide Game Fishing Club Kingfish competition this year. Can you tell us about winning that?
Oh yeah, wasn't actually that great a day. That was right. 6:30 at night, I hooked onto that fish. So I fished all day and lost heaps of squid to snapper and that sort of stuff. So went looking around for some salmon. We got some salmon.
Yeah.
They weren't really paying off.
Yeah.
So we went in close and tried for some squid again. Got a couple of squid and went out probably about 6 o'clock. I just went on the drift on the turn of the tide, and then the fish just sort of like tapped away like it was a snapper.
Yeah.
And then it just sort of took off. I didn't think it was a kingfish for about a minute and a half into the fight until it actually started pulling some string. So it was sort of a dead weight to begin with, and then it started playing the game.
Sprung to life.
I was lucky enough to land it.
Fantastic, mate. And while we're on the subject of that great fish you caught in that comp, how did you get yourself involved in the Game Fishing Club?
I just seen a post on Facebook and I thought, I'll give this kingfish competition a go. I didn't do it last year. I seen it last year and I thought, that'd be a good thing, but I just never sort of got around to doing it. I thought I'll just focus on the fishing instead of the competition. And this year I thought, I'll give the competition a go. And I got lucky, I guess. I've seen some bigger fish than that get caught. A mate of mine caught one that was 145 to the fork off the rocks only 2 weeks before I caught my fish. So I'm sure there were bigger ones than that as well.
Yeah.
Just up to entering into the competition to have a chance at winning it.
No, fantastic, mate.
Yeah, now tell us, Matt, we have talked a lot about this over the last 12 months or so. The commercial netting of kings. I'm sure, being a keen angler for kingfish, you've got a strong opinion. Can you tell us what you think about it all?
Yeah, I'm completely against it. And the reason being is the fish up this way they're breeding. That's why they're here. So
yes,
if we take too many of them, it's going to go the same way as a snapper, where we have a ban, or worst case, we don't have the fish come up this way anymore. We completely fish out that stock, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Completely against it. And same with like rec fishers. If you're going to keep them, only keep really what you need. I'll only keep a fish if it's bleeding a lot. If it's bleeding a little bit, I'll still let him back. But the only time I'll ever keep one is when you can see they're not going to make it if you release them.
Yeah, no, we couldn't agree more. It is something that we definitely need to be very proactive around protecting, because not only the enjoyment, but we've seen, and I'm sure, like you say, being down at Waye, you would have seen firsthand the damage that can be done on snapper and that sort of thing if we don't manage the stock correctly.
Yeah, pretty much. To be honest, I didn't really see that much of a decline in the snapper stocks myself.
Yeah.
And back before the ban, I didn't even have a sounder to fish with. I used to go off GPS marks, and I wasn't having trouble. So
yeah.
But that said, obviously they do the study, and PIRSA would have done the study and worked out the stock was down, so the ban had to be implemented.
Yes, must have been something behind it, but we do agree there does seem to be a few floating around, but we certainly don't want the kingfish to go that same direction.
No, that's right, definitely not. It's such a special thing, like, for us to have them where we are, that close to shore sort of thing.
Yeah, it's certainly...
I've already seen many other places.
And it must be a massive tourism thing for up that way.
Yeah, you definitely see a few extra boats on the water this time of year.
Good for the local tackle shops and pubs and, hotels and caravan parks and all that. Yeah,
with the local economy, more especially the service stations, like boats use a lot of fuel, grab ice every time you go out, snacks, lunch, that sort of stuff. It's definitely would be bringing money into the local economy, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And Matt, you touched on earlier about the many different ways to target kingfish, and you've given us a good story about how you have got little spot X where you target them land-based, but what is your favourite way to target them? Is it off the land, or you like top water action with lures, or what's your favourite?
I prefer bait in the boat, to be honest, because you've got more chance of getting multiple fish.
Yeah.
I've tried lures. I've never actually got one on a stick bait.
Okay.
I've tried a lot as well. I've lost 5 on the stick bait. Jigs work pretty well, but you have to have someone manning the wheel to keep the boat in a spot, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But more live baiting, and you can use dead baits on your downriggers and that sort of stuff, but live bait's the way to go. I've found you get more of a chance, and not specifically using one bait as well. And that's a mistake a lot of people get into, is only using squid. A lot of people believe that they're the best bait. They're good bait. I'm not saying that they're not great, but the problem with them is snapper love them as well.
Yeah.
So just being, using as many different baits as you can. Pretty much what's in the area the fish are going to eat. As long as it's not a shitty, you'll be all good.
Yeah. And Matt, what about going forward into the summer months? Have you got some time off work, got some fishing plans? What are you going to target in the next few months?
Yeah, well, I'm going to head down south for the tuna, probably. I don't know, we'll go with February. I'll start probably February through to March. I was thinking about doing an overnight trip to Greenland in the boat.
Yeah, nice.
Seeing how I do there.
Yeah.
But other than that, just get some tuna, more for a feed, and I want to tag a couple as well and send them back.
Yeah, where do you go there? Yorks or Victor or?
More towards Coffin Bay,
Coffin
Way.
Yeah,
closer to Waye.
Yeah, lovely. Fantastic, mate. Well, you've got a lot to look forward over the summer then, by the sounds.
Yeah, that's right. I can't wait, to be honest.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show and giving us a bit of an insight into the sort of fishing you get up to, and definitely a good insight as to how to get onto some kingies down your way. So thank you very much for coming on the show.
No worries. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks.
Great to hear from Matt Roddy. Obviously a very experienced angler when it comes to the kingfish scene, and great to get some pointers from him.
Yeah, Diz, we need to learn everything we can about the kingfish.
Yes,
we talked up a big Port Augusta trip. Hasn't happened.
I know.
We had a half-hearted crack over on Eyre Peninsula.
Yeah.
But the weather probably didn't play the game either there, so we can't take ourselves seriously as legitimate kingfish operators at this point in time.
No,
we have caught a couple over on KI over the years, but never really targeted them properly.
No, and off Yorks that time. We got them on the troll for
yes, yeah, we did too.
tuna and got a couple of rat kingies. But nonetheless, it's always good to learn a few pointers, and we'll get down there. I'm not sure we'll be as successful land-based, but we'll be lucky enough to get out on the boat and get amongst them.
Look, we're not going to go full Matt day one.
No, it'll take a bit. Like you said, some people go for years without catching a single fish, so they can be a very difficult fish to catch.
But the way the tuna season's going, we might be better off targeting kings.
True.
Anyway, Diz, let's let that lead us into the fishing report.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's definitely been some good kingies caught. I mean, the Game Fishing Club, of course, ran their competition where some very, very good fish have been caught, and we've seen a lot of photos on the socials from Hamish has got onto some good sessions.
Yes,
and
mostly up that Whyalla sort of area, Port Augusta.
Yeah, Port Augusta.
Point Lowly seems to have fired.
Yeah, so good, and as we've covered in previous podcasts, some good footage of some schooling kingies, top water action.
Yeah, there's nothing quite like it.
That sort of thing. So, yeah, absolutely. Still red hot down there in the kingy game if you've got a weekend spare and you want to get down there. Rhodey, we've seen some reports very recently. Naturally, there would be a lot of people going out and doing some recon missions trying to find the tuna.
Yeah, and we haven't seen any caught as of yet, I don't believe.
No, I certainly haven't. I'm
certainly
sure
not locally.
Yeah, I'm sure there'd be some people who would keep it very close to their chest at this time of year. So we don't know whether there have been any caught, but certainly none that have made the rounds on Facebook. But we did see quite a few reports of people heading off Cape Jarvis over the weekend because it was lovely weather, especially on Sunday.
Yes.
Glorious. Nice hot day, low winds. And so, yeah, people heading out. Big schools of salmon we saw a fair bit of, and some birds working, but no tuna just yet.
So we'll keep our ears to the ground on that one, Diz.
Yes, we will. And now it's probably time already for us to cross state boundaries.
Oh, where are we heading, mate?
We are heading to Tasmania.
Yeah.
Of all places.
What's fighting over there?
Where the big Pezzle has gone into some inland oysters.
Oh, inland oysters, you reckon?
No, they got onto some wild oysters.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
There's down there on a week escape before the cricket starts with his partner Amy, a local down there, and they must have had some good tips on where to get him because they got a bucket full.
It was a good bucket, wasn't it?
They're fortunate enough down there to be Vibrio free, so I'm sure Pez won't have a horrific 10 days after consuming a few, but I'm sure they'll go down just fine with a couple of cold beers or a glass of wine or however you enjoy them.
All right, Diz, back into our state.
Oh, we're coming back.
Coming back to SA. We got kicked out of there because of COVID.
Kicked out of Tassie. We're back in. Look, the Balgowan Charter is something we obviously, friends of the show.
Tim Golding, fantastic operator down there. They always do extremely well on the fish. Some big whiting being caught. One that the man in the grey suit, I suppose you'd say, got munched half of a whiting. It would have been a decent feed because it looked like a good fish. Yeah, they got plenty anyway, didn't they?
Yeah, they got plenty, and I think it was they've got some nice underwater footage. Right?
Yeah,
some stills that they post. So obviously, getting the camera down at some of their spots is something they've got into just to probably educate the guests a bit about where they catch these sorts of fish.
It's also a good way to learn about what sort of bottom you're fishing on.
Yeah,
a bit of a learning expedition as well.
Yeah, so that was good.
And some big snapper.
Oh, some great photos of some big snapper, Rody. So good signs to come.
Yeah.
For hopefully what will be a very productive post-ban season
coming up. Still about 14 months away.
Yeah, we've got a while to go, Justin.
Something like that.
But yeah, no, it'll be good.
It will be great, Diz. Now, is that all we got from the report?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's all we've really got. We haven't been able to get out ourselves too much. You've touched on
only small squid at Turton. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah, didn't sort of lure any of the big boys.
No big boys. A couple others got a few little ones, but I only got a little one. One fella was down there with his big tuna rod, TLD 30, out there catching tiny sweep.
Oh, right.
He was certainly,
he wasn't floating a bait out for a shark or anything, was he?
No, I think he just had cockles on his tuna rod. But anyway, each their own.
You go and give him some pointers?
Oh, look, I sort of left him to it, mate.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, Diz, that's it for the report.
Yes, it is, Rody. And that probably rolls us nicely over just to remind the listeners about, of course, the comp that is ending next Sunday.
Yes, Diz, this is our comp we've got, so make sure you jump on the socials. You need to like and share the post on either Facebook or Instagram.
Yes.
And there's some great prizes, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, and it's a really nice segue into our next guest, of course, which is Dan.
Yes, Diz.
Dan, who is the fishing guru, but also works very closely with Boyd from How's Your Tackle and Let's Go Fishing, Adelaide's premier tackle shop. Down at Christie's Beach. And we look forward to getting him on the show, Rody. Let's get him on the line.
Diz, we are lucky enough to be joined by the one and only Dan Waye. We're going to chat all about the Happy Valley Reservoir. Dan, welcome to the show.
G'day fellas, how are you?
Very good, Dan, the fishing guru. You've been an extremely busy man. The Happy Valley Reservoir opening, you've been all over it, mate. Tell us all about it.
Well, we haven't been fishing for most of the year, so I'm trying to make up for it now.
Fair enough.
Happy Valley Reservoir opened up on Saturday. I think the date was the 11th, so a couple of days ago. We have been waiting for this for so long. It's such an amazing asset to have in our backyard. Being Murray Cod in Adelaide, it's a really good opportunity for families and other, fishing enthusiasts who might not necessarily have a chance to go catch a redfin or a Murray Cod locally. It's been amazing so far, and there's a lot of people getting into them, so it's great.
Yes, and we saw you did well on the fish over the weekend, you and plenty of others. Tell us about how the reservoir's been fishing.
We found a couple. Yeah, I was lucky enough to get invited to a photo shoot on Friday before it opened with Minister Spears, and we were taking a photo for the advertiser. My daughter's got the advertiser. One was in a canoe, and my youngest and I was standing behind her pretending to have a fish, and I decided we didn't want to pretend anymore, and we threw an actual lure in, and as soon as they hit the water, already hit it. So that was a really good sign to start with. On opening day, there was thousands of people there. The redfin played the game nice and early, but they shut down once it started to get a little bit warmer. They went a little bit deeper. But there was the thing that really stood out, I think, over the weekend was the amount of Murray Cod that were caught. So these were just recently stocked about 2 weeks ago. 1,000 fish were put in there, and we personally on Saturday, I think we caught about 8 or 9 or 10. We lost track. And that was all in under half an hour too. In one particular location. We lost track because we sort of landed the first couple for ourselves, and I had a friend Brad down there with us, and then we decided that all the kids that were around us fishing with their $20 Kmart combos and having a bit of a tough time, we thought we'd try and give them their first cod as well. So what we did was we hooked onto the cod, got it away from the structure, and then said, "Here you go, kids. We'll help you pull it in." So the kids got to reel them in, and then it was really good. It gave us an opportunity to show them how to appropriately handle the fish and educate them on, why it's important to not remove them from the water and, protect the slime coating that's on them and how to handle them and get the hooks out safely without, hooking yourself. And it was a really good day. It wasn't just that position either. I was at another location earlier and I saw probably another 20 to 30 cod caught by various people. So, yeah, it's an amazing fishery, guys, and it's going to be really, really good for the local fishing community, I think.
Absolutely, Dan, and that's what we love about you, mate. You're always willing to share your advice, and being in the industry yourself and being able to share that knowledge amongst others. It's really a great thing you do for the community, mate, and a very successful opening weekend, no doubt about it.
Oh, it was huge. It was huge. I spent lots of time down there. I had to have a bit of a snooze this hour. I think it all caught up with me in the end. So.
And Dan, tell us about the competition that the Fishing Guru and How's Your Tackle are involved in.
So about a week ago, I was contacted by our local MP here, Steve Murray, and he said that David Spears' office wanted to have a bit of a chat with us. They, as part of their stocking, they had 5 tag fish that were released within the 1,000. So they wanted to sort of utilise that and make it a bit of fun for people on opening weekend, and wanted to put a bit of a comp together, and they asked how we could help. So we were like, I wasn't sure exactly what they were chasing or what they were looking for, and eventually we settled on, we came up with some prizes. I spoke to Boyd from How's Your Tackle, and between How's Your Tackle and the Fishing Guru, HYT's put up a $500 cash prize for the first fish, which is absolutely amazing. Imagine being the person that catches that fish. That'd be huge.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And to sort of, to sort of make up the other tags, I've thrown in a $100 lure pack for the remaining 4 fish caught after that from the Fishing Guru. So we just want to have a little bit of fun with it. It's not, it's not $1 million. We've had a few people that pointed that out, but at the end of the day, it's a small reservoir in the big scheme of things. It shouldn't take too long to catch these cod based on what I've seen over the weekend, and it's just a bit of fun and give people something to look forward to and strive for while they're out there. So we're really excited about it. We can't wait for that first tag to come in. I think Boyd's looking at doing a nice big novelty check as well, and we're trying to have a lot of fun with it as well. So yeah, it's really cool.
Well, we're hoping to head down on the weekend, so you might see us pull it in, Dan. Boyd, if we're lucky.
Yeah, well, there's a few T's and C's, guys, so make sure you check those out on the How's Your Tackle Facebook page before you head down. Because there's a couple of terms and conditions involved to make the competition fair for everybody and to cover legal bases. So.
No, fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. And Dan, you're obviously very familiar with the reservoir, given that you've been so heavily involved. Can you tell the listeners, except for being able to catch a fish, what else they can expect down there? What are the facilities like? Is it a good day down there with the family? How's it all looking down there?
Absolutely, yeah. So obviously it's not just fishing in the reservoir. You've got kayaks. You can kayak around. It's a nice big body of water. It's generally fairly protected from the elements. Sometimes the wind can come in from a certain direction, but other than that, it's pretty well protected. So it's a great day for the family to jump in a canoe or a kayak and just have a nice casual paddle around. There's plenty of picnic areas that we've set up within the plan that we created, and they've been established really well. We've got toilet facilities, bushwalking trails, There's a bird watching sanctuary, which is sort of tucked away in the top right hand corner. So the bird watching sanctuary, they've got that area to themselves, which is great. But yeah, just come down, have a day, go have a picnic, go for a walk, take in the scenery, take in the wildlife, maybe throw a line out, make sure you get your permit first. If you're going to do that, there's no permit or anything required to enter the property and to go for a walk or to have a picnic. You just need one if you're going to go have a fish, that's all.
Yeah, and the kayak launching looked great.
Yeah, so there's 2 kayak launching facilities. There's one that you guys would have seen I posted.
Yeah.
It's a really big, amazing kayak launch ramp, so to speak. I'm not sure what you'd call it, but it's got access for those that might be having mobility issues, for example. It's got a seat that comes out and you can sort of drop in. You can sort of stagger onto that seat and then drop into a kayak. Really good for launching, really good for retrieving. If you don't want the traffic on that western ramp though, there is another one down near the southern car park, the main car park to the property. It's a really easy walk down. You go across a bridge, down a really slight slope type boardwalk, and then you just do a beach launch. So yeah, heaps of options available, and really, really good spot to have a paddle.
Yeah, fantastic, Dan. And one thing I did want to ask you, Dan, because now we know you're the resident expert at catching cod after having a serious session on it. If we were going to head down there, what would we need to drop in and pick up from the fishing guru, and how's your tackle down there? What would we need to take?
One thing that caught us by surprise, and I think the thing about the reservoir is it's a bit of an extraordinary situation. So normally we wouldn't have this kind of fishery available where you can go and potentially catch multiple Murray cod, for example. So, I've done week-long fishing trips up the Murray where we haven't even caught the one fish. So,
yeah.
It's caught a lot of people by surprise. It's really accessible to your average person, your families, your young kids that wouldn't necessarily have the experience in chasing these fish or targeting this species. So, a couple of things that I would recommend if you can get it, if you can go and buy some, or we've got them at the shop. Otherwise, most squid tackle shops would have them as well. We'd love to see you down at Let's Go Fishing though. Is a glove of some description. So in order to successfully release and handle the cod, you want to actually grab them with your thumb in the mouth. You don't really want to handle their body, because what that's going to do is that's going to potentially remove the protective slime that they have and damage the fish. So they're not allowed to be removed out of the water. So the best way to handle them is to stick your thumb in their mouth, and they don't have teeth, so to speak, but they do have like a real sandpaper type. It's like plates inside their mouth that can cause damage to your gloves, to your thumb. So a glove would be really good. We've been using it since the open day. I didn't take one down on open day, but when we came home with a bloody thumb, we definitely have been using one since. And that can just be one of those fish filleting gloves, or like your standard cotton type gloves, or any glove that's just going to protect your thumb from that. Another thing that's really good is a pair of lip grips. If you don't want to wear gloves, lip grips can do it as well. They're not ideal; they can damage the fish, but they're a really good option if you don't have gloves available. And definitely a pair of pliers, so preferably long nose pliers, because these cod are quite large. They're a substantial size. They had to put them in at a certain size in order to survive the redfin population. And so they've got a really big mouth on them. So if you're using a smaller lure, or if they're really, really hungry, what they're going to do is they're going to get that lure right down the back of their mouth. So in order to successfully release that lure without injuring yourself with treble hooks or whatever, a pair of pliers is really an essential tool to have on you, which I discovered on open day as well. We had to borrow from one of those kids' parents that we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
But it was fine. So, but yeah, just a pair of pliers and a glove is probably your best bet. So they're not very expensive items to get, but they're really, really helpful when handling these cod. So.
And Dan, you said about the cod having to be a certain size to sort of get through the redfin. What size were they stocked at, and is there a plan for the stocking to continue in the future?
Yep, so they're stocked at they're around the 55 to 60 centimetre mark. They're really healthy fish, actually. That was really surprising. They're super healthy fish. They're really fat. They're really well fed. When they come up, you can see they're in excellent condition, so that's really good. They're only going to get bigger in there as well. So as far as future stocking is concerned, I'm not sure. I've still got some liaising to do with SA Water and Minister Spears' office moving forward. At the moment, I think we're all just sort of recovering from open day and open weekend. So I've sort of made connections to move into a volunteering capacity moving forward with them as well. So hopefully we'll be able to find some more stocking options available through that. So.
Brilliant, Dan. And one last thing you might be nice enough to share with our listeners is, what was the lure that was doing the damage?
We need a tackle item of the week, Dan.
Tackle item of the week. Down at the shop, we've got a lure. It's a lure by a company called Gan. It's a jig spin lure. So it's like a heavy little blade style lure or vibe style lure. And on the back of it, it's got a like a spinning blade. And then on the top of it, it's got what's called a chatter blade as well. And that lure we just couldn't fail with over the last 3 days. So I don't know what it is about it. It's actually quite a small lure. I was more expecting the redfin to smash it, but the cod just absolutely lap it up. And it was, at one point, it was almost a fish a cast, whereas the other lures you had to really work for it. So, but yeah, these lures have been really good. I did lose one yesterday, unfortunately. So we had to go get some more stock from the shop. I grabbed another 10 out of the shop to make sure we didn't find ourselves in a position without that lure again, because once I lost it, it was really, really difficult to find them. But other items that work really well, from what we've experienced the last few days, is your spinner lures, the V-shaped ones. So they're like a stainless steel branch line. They've got a couple of spinner blades up the top, and then down the bottom they've got the silicone skirts and generally a soft plastic of some description as well. They really like those, and then we've also had a lot of success on the diving lures as well. So for example, our T-Rex lures that we have in store, they're hand painted. It's a 65mm crank lure. That's been doing really well in the redfin colour, and also the traditional sort of green and yellow as well. So, and then of course other guys have done really well on similar sort of lures as well. So.
Yes, well, we'll have to come down and see you, Dan, before we head out on the reservoir, maybe on the weekend.
Yeah, no worries. Sounds good. I'm putting them all front and centre now that I know that they all work so well. So.
And well done on the media career too, Dan, before we leave you. You've been on the TV, been in the paper. We can't get enough of you.
A few news slots and advertiser articles and stuff over the weekend. So.
No, it's fantastic, mate. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much for your time and giving us an insight as to how we can get onto these cod. And thanks for all your work getting the reservoir open and up and running, mate.
No worries, fellas. Hopefully we'll catch you down there soon, eh?
Absolutely, mate. Speak soon.
Cheers, boys.
Diz, bloody good to hear from Dan.
Oh, as always, Roddy, fantastic to hear from Dan. He's always very generous with his time, and even more so now that he has a very high amount of media attendances to be at.
Yeah, he's sort of become I suppose he's become the Eddie Maguire of the Adelaide media scene. Yes. Everywhere you look, you're seeing him.
He has, and it's been great.
But no, congratulations to Dan and everyone who's been involved. That seems like they've done a great job of getting that fishery up off the ground.
I certainly can't wait to get down there and get amongst it, because I think, like Dan said, it's a day out for everyone. You know, there's plenty to do down there, and it's a lovely part of Adelaide.
And Diz, a big shout out, big thanks to Dan and everyone else who's donated to our prizes, Diz, for our competition we talked about before.
Oh, absolutely.
So the Fishing Guru, How's Your Tackle, Savage Tackle, Troll So Hard Lures, and the Lazy Fisho. Thank you to all of them for getting behind our competition.
Yeah, great stuff. Thank you guys very much. And
that's about all we got time for though, Diz. So make sure you jump online and get involved in that comp to win that great prize pack.
Yes, yeah.
Hit us up if you'd like a cap.
Oh yeah, get around it.
And we are going to have just a little short episode next week, a little pre-Christmas special, wrap up the year, announce the winners of our prize, and have a bit of an on-air Christmas party, Diz.
Oh yeah, can't wait, Roddy.
So that's what you got to look forward to in episode 47.
Year in review.
All right, Diz, that's it.
Thanks, Roddy. Good to be here with you, mate.
See you later, guys.
See ya.
Rhodey and Diz hope you enjoyed today's episode of All the Gear But No Idea. Keep up to date by liking and sharing us on Facebook and Instagram. And you can subscribe on all the major podcast platforms. Until next time, good luck fishing.